times. So,
Well, my big takeaway from the night was Islam Machachev. What do we do with that guy? Who's going to stop him? Bobby Green went in there and tried, and let's be real, he wasn't going to do it.
no.
Maybe he called for a rematch. Maybe he could get it if he had a proper camp and everything, but we didn't get that. So let's look forward. Islam Makhachev's future in the lightweight division. What do we do now? Do we give him a title shot
Right.
after beating an unranked Bobby Green?
Do you put him against Bindel Dariush when he's ready?
And how long do we wait for that?
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is going to be Islam Makhachev is a force, and we cannot look past that.
Right.
But the lightweight picture has so many. It's so top heavy right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole division is very talent filled, but it's so top heavy. So he has so many people to like, so many sharks to look at and say, okay, you have to get through them to get the title shot, because I don't think that beating Bobby Green says that he should get a title shot just yet.
But somehow beating somebody that's ranked outside the top 10 gets you a title belt with Khabib, you know? And so
Yeah.
that's where it gets kind of messy is, you know, how do we decide that he deserves the next title shot? I mean, granted, like, even how he got into the top 5 is he beat Thiago Moises, who's ranked number 11. And so now it's, you know, we're trying to figure out how do we know he's next? Because we see him just like sandblast through these guys, man. Like he runs through them like a freaking hot knife through butter. He is doing phenomenal.
Well,
But go ahead.
Go ahead.
And so it's like we
So nice here.
so we decided, like, so how do they decide? I mean, is, you know, how do we know that he's getting the next title shot? Because you still have Justin Gaethje, who's been pretty much in talks for the next title shot happening in May sometime. I think that just the only thing is they're trying to figure out the location where they would like to do it at. I want to say they're shooting for Brazil, but it's not confirmed. But it's one of those things where, you know, how do we start to get these rankings going? Because we saw guys like, you know, guys on the outside of the top 5, like guys like Gregor Gillespie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You don't
Yeah.
even have to look. You might have to look to those guys, is
Yeah.
what I was going to say. Because, like you're talking about with Gaethje, he's going to be fighting Oliveira.
Yeah.
So you put them aside. They have to be put on the shelf, because if they're going to be fighting for the title, that excludes Islam Makhachev.
Right.
But then who does Islam Makhachev fight that deserves that fight? Dustin Poirier, who just recently lost.
Right.
Michael Chandler, who's on a losing streak.
Right.
These top guys, Beneil Dariush is the other one, but, you know, are we really going to wait that long? Is Islam Makhachev going to wait that long? So do you give him someone in the top 5 where it still kind of doesn't make sense because they're
Right.
moving down? Or do you give him another guy ranked below him, or maybe even another unranked guy?
One of the things I was going to point out too is we're not going to know when Islam's going to be back because Ramadan's coming up. So they don't fight during Ramadan. They can't, you know, and it's his religious beliefs that he participates in Ramadan every single year. So now he's talking about coming back in the fall. Why should he be able to wait all the way till the fall to get a title shot? You know, because this division needs to keep moving. There's a lot of guys in this division that need to get a chance to move up in the division, and it's very, very stacked. There's a ton of fighters in that division that aren't even ranked, that should be ranked. You know, and so I think we're trying to just play by ear, but I don't think he should get the next title shot, and to have to be able to have the chance to be able to wait till, like, you know, August or September for that title shot doesn't make any sense either. Just because he's that good, it's like you still need to prove that you're that good because you're not the champion.
Yeah.
When you're the champion, you can call the shots like that if you want, just like Khabib did.
I agree. I think he needs one more. It sucks. It's crazy to say that he needs one more, but I do think he needs one more because beating an unranked fighter who took it on short week notice doesn't really get you title shot.
Right.
But then who do you give him? Do you give him a top 5 guy who's on his way down, or do you give him someone who makes it to where it still doesn't make sense? It's
Right.
a tough situation for him, but it's very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how the UFC handles it. So let us know your thoughts on that.